We're going to be talking about 5 surprisingly simple toys to boost speech, language, and feeding development. All right, I told you I have no idea what toys you brought tonight, Carrie. So, Carrie, you better take it away.
All right. So the first toy, and what I did is I kind of cheated, is I picked kind of 5 categories of toys
Good
because
idea.
limiting this to 5 actual toys, it was virtually impossible. So my first category of favorite toy is things to feed. And so this is one of my favorites. This is from IKEA, and you can see it's a cute little puppy dog bowl. So when you open it, you can store food. I mean, you can actually serve food in it, but it can travel as well. So you can see that
What?
I just have toy food in here. There's some yummy grapes and some lovely lettuce and some yummy corn and a banana. So anyways, I can use this to not only build vocabulary, work on put in, but also it's introducing them in a non-threatening manner to foods that maybe aren't in their repertoire. You know, a lot of our littles don't like their veggies. Maybe they're aversive to green food, in particular. So I really like, here we've got an egg. I like, a little protein there. So I try very hard to put things in there that are easy for children to manipulate. But obviously then we've got our doggy, so we can woo woo and make our
Yeah.
dog sound. So this is from IKEA. I don't know, it was about $5. I looked on Amazon. There's a version on Amazon. It's not exactly the same. I know everybody doesn't have an IKEA, but could he be any cuter? Seriously, Coach Mel?
So cute.
Impressive.
I can't believe I don't know about that. I'm supposed to
Okay. So
specialize in feeding. I never heard about that dog. I'm
isn't
going
he
to IKEA
wonderful?
tomorrow.
All right. This is an oldie but goodie. You can't buy him anymore, but this is the Play-Doh Cookie Monster, and you can see that his mouth opens. And so what I do is I have these little, you can take little plastic foods. I happen to have cookies, and watch how amazing this is. You put it in his mouth, and you go, yum, 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 and it's gone, right? So it's
Yeah.
back behind. You can see that they fall down here. So kids absolutely love that. So if you're ever at a consignment shop and you see a strange-looking Cookie Monster with a movable mouth, you want that. This is from, I think it's called Nubby, N-U-B-Y, and this is a little snack bowl. You can see it's a monster. So again, we just feed him little small erasers or whatever, so we can, again, work on, use a lot of sound effects, just trying to get kids to move their articulators. So you can see that I've got a whole little plate full of, well, maybe you can see them, of just miniatures, tiny toys. There's some ketchup and a taco and a little bottle of water. I like, what are those expensive dolls called? American Girl dolls. Like these
Right.
are the size that go, with American Girl dolls. So I'm always buying little random things. So this is $5 on Amazon. It's the Nubby, what's it called? Nubby Monster Snack Keeper. So he's adorable. And then one more thing. This is for kids who are a little bit older, but you know how important fine motor skills are related to feeding. So this is just a tennis ball, and I had my husband cut a slit in it, glued some eyes to him, and then you can just feed him all those little mini erasers that we buy at Target, right? So I've got, you can see this is one of many tubs. There's tacos, and there's mushrooms, and there's apples. So again, I just picked the ones that were related to food. So you've got the squeezing motion, which is great for building fine motor. So that's our first category of toys, things to feed. Our second category is mailboxes. And the reason I love mailboxes so much, I know it sounds odd, is because young children love to put in, dump out, and do it again. I mean, there's a
Yeah.
reason little kids want to take all the laundry out of the laundry basket, throw it all back in, take it all back out over and over and over. So this is a Fisher Price mailbox. I've had it, since my daughters were young. It's dated 1989, but you see it opens and there's a slit at the top. So
Yeah.
obviously something came with it. Let me tell you what I put in it, and young kids love it, is a memory game. And what I love about the memory games is that they have these little cardboard, toddler preschool friendly size cards that you can mail. So it's great for building vocabulary, for putting in for fine motor. Obviously, I picked the ones related to food. There's the hot dog, so they can put in. There's the puppy dog. There's a bike. So again, I just use them to mail. So that's the mailbox. This is a tabletop garbage can. These little things with the swinging lid that you can set on
Wait,
your,
that
yeah.
you just get those at the dollar store.
Right, and I just glued eyes to him, so he looks like a monster mouth now. And we mail those little cards in there, so you can see that in there are all those little memory cards. So that's
I
another
love
option.
that.
for a mailbox. Valentine's Day, when everything goes on clearance at Target Dollar Spot, I buy these mailboxes. So the same concept. They're just cardboard. They open in the back so that you can get the cards out. And oh, sorry,
Carrie,
go ahead.
I'm just going to interrupt because what I love about what you do is you pick really inexpensive, grab them on sale the day after Valentine's Day, but really it's a very similar toy. A mailbox is a mailbox is a mailbox. Yet you can practice the same skill just by showing up with one that has a little dog on it this week, or one that you put some stickers on, or that you got from the dollar store that's really a trash can, but you turned it into a mailbox.
Absolutely.
Like, that's what I love, because children learn through repetition, and you're finding a fun way to not only help the children repeat, but finding a fun way for the parents to repeat.
Absolutely. And I just want to share the last version, because not everybody is going to find a mailbox tomorrow when they go out.
Sure.
So this is the Huggies wipes tub. Now it needs to be a Huggies wipes tub. Again, there's googly eyes, and you can see how the Huggies wipes tub looks like a mouth.
Yeah.
Pampers wipes tubs are not good toys, because when you put your hand in a Pampers wipes tub, it bites you and it hurts your hand. So, and I don't hold any stock in Huggies or anything like that, but my husband doesn't work for Huggies. I just want to, let you know that Huggies has the best brand. But again, so inside are all the little memory cards, the little picture cards. So this is, I always tell parents, I know it's probably cheaper to buy the wipes in a bag, but you want to buy several of these, because even if you don't use them to mail, if you have 8 or 10 of these, you have blocks, and they're great big toddler sized blocks. It encourages bilateral, which is, so important that babies and toddlers are using both hands. So that way they're using both hemispheres of the brain. They're communicating with each other. So I love everything about Huggies wipes tubs. So I always try to buy the cutest patterned ones. You can buy ones that have Mickey Mouse and Lion King, so I have tons and tons of Huggies wipes tubs. So we have things to feed, mailboxes, okay? And are you ready for our third one?
Yeah.
Okay, our third one is stacking cups. And I at first was going to do things that stack, which would include blocks and all of that, but I wanted to get a little more specific. So I have, I think I counted 13 different sets of nesting cups, stacking cups. These are the set from IKEA. And what I really like about IKEA is you see the holes in the bottom, so you can put them in the bathtub. They're going to be great for that. But also just this is, I think, the most interesting set I have. So you can obviously stack them or nest them. So we've got that set from IKEA, which you can see how cute that is, right?
So cute.
But then there's always just the more traditional set of nesting cups. This is a set that's shaped like hearts. So again, you can build in some other concepts there. The reason I like cups so much is because you can do so many things with them. Not only can you stack them and nest them, but these could actually be for a tea party. We could get all our stuffed animals and everybody could have a teacup. So now we're getting into more symbolic play, right? Representational play. Oh yeah, I know they look like stacking cups, but they can be a teacup. Do you want to have a tea party? So we could do that. If you have some toy animals, they can also become the water bowl or the food bowl. Nom, 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 nom. Or, so again, just working on some early, vocalizing and just moving the muscles of the mouth. If you don't have toy animals, you can always use characters too. Like there's a Cookie Monster, so you could use an Elsa toy or whatever. So I like that. But I have to show you the craziest cups of all. These are, well, let's see if you guys know what these are. Can you tell what they are?
Oh, those are my favorite. I know what they are, but I'm not going to say anything.
Okay, so these are shaving gel lids. And you can see all the beautiful colors. So I was at Walmart probably, 3 months ago, and I had an absolute attack because there's a new color of shaving gel lids. So it's this new turquoise color. So I had to buy 4 containers of shaving gel. But these are just the most beautiful thing. You can obviously stack them into a pyramid shape, right? So these are going to stack like this, and you can make really tall pyramids. Because of the nice edge around them, these make great cookie dough cutters, Play-Doh cookie cutters, because they actually will cut through Play-Doh, so you can use them that way. Again, they can be bowls for the animals to eat out of. They can also be teacups. Cheers, right? So they're obviously beautiful colors. So I know it sounds odd, but I love shaving gel lids.
I love that. You've been about that on Instagram once, and I was just like, brilliant.
I encourage my families to, instead of recycling, I really encourage them to upcycle. Upcycling is actually better for the environment than recycling because it doesn't take any energy to upcycle. So every container is actually a toy. The definition of a toy is an object for children to play with. The definition of a toy is not an object you buy at the store for children to play with. So I think that we have to remember that a laundry basket is a toy, a stick is a toy, an empty cardboard box is a toy, those plastic bowls in the kitchen are toys. So I think we just need to always remember that. In the United States, we're kind of a materialistic country. So everything is about, let's go spend more money, and I think the kitchen actually holds some of the best toys. So we have done things to feed, mailboxes, stacking cups. Now I'm going to share with you the fourth toy, which is puppets. I love puppets so much. So there are, let me grab them all here. There are, actual puppets that you buy at the toy store, if you will. My preference is puppets that have a movable mouth. Because for some kids, especially on the autism spectrum, they may not want to look at my face, but they will often look at the moving mouth of the puppet. So it's a way that I can establish joint attention. Some puppets are soft like that one, but some are more this hard plastic. Here's a crocodile, but again, I like the movable mouth. When he bites, he's naughty. Ow! Right? We tell him, no bite, right? So that's the naughty alligator. This is a puppet that doesn't have, well, these aren't even puppets. So these last four I'm going to share with you, they're oven mitts. And I always tell parents oven mitts are just puppets, usually without a face. I happen to find oven mitts all the time that are adorable. So this is a butterfly. You can see that you just put both hands in there. And so for the very hungry caterpillar that turns into a butterfly, this is a story prop that I would use with that. This is an oven mitt that looks, I guess he's a shark, but you can see that, he's got, again, a movable mouth, eyes. So here's another oven mitt. TJ Maxx has a lot of these very bizarre, where you never know what you're going to find. So I like to go there. This is my newest one, goes with baby shark, right? So there's a pretty cute shark. So anyways, I really like puppets and oven mitts, or you can make sock puppets at home. You don't have to go out and spend tons of money. Most people probably have an oven mitt, that you put your hand in. That's a puppet, so I encourage parents.
And you reminded me on my YouTube channel, and I'll put the link in the comments for everybody. I have a video on how to make your own sock puppet and how to teach an 18-month-old what swallow means. And it's not what you think. It's not just cutting the little slit like we always do. There's a little more of a trick to it. So I'm glad you mentioned that because I love puppets too. And I was just going to add on one more thought for you because this is such a weird coincidence. So this weekend, I cleaned out my entire toy cupboard. I have like 4 big cabinets in my garage. It's nothing but my toys that I work with kids with. And it was a huge all-day project. And I arranged one shelf that's nothing but counting tools. And I don't mean learning to count 1 to 10. I mean that if we need to practice how many chews or how many bites of this sandwich we're going to have, or, like a pacing board, something like that. This is my whole shelf of what I use to make it fun. And you know what? Half of that shelf are different stacking cups because I like to use those for, we're going to do 5 bites now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I give the kids either a plastic bat or a ball, and they get to knock down the tower.
Perfect. I love that. I love it so much. From a speech perspective, another thing I like to do with kids is use maybe a foam or a plastic die and have them roll the die.
Yes.
And that's how many repetitions they have to give me. So you could do it for bites of food, but it could also be how many speech repetitions. So that way, I always say if you can let kids think they're in control, they're more apt to participate in something that is difficult. They know it's a challenging task. So, all right. So our toys, things to feed, mailboxes, stacking cups, puppets, and or oven mitts. And our fifth category of toys then is what I'm just going to call kitchen toys, because I truly believe that the kitchen has the most variety of what I would call non-toy toys. And I know that's a
Yeah.
weird way to say it, but these aren't toys you buy at the toy store. So if any of you have ever heard any of my live seminars, you know that my favorite toy of all times is the Muffin Tin. And the reason I am such a Muffin Tin fanatic is because you have 12 openings, which guarantees me 12 opportunities for repetitive speech. So what I look for then is 12 identical items that we can put in the Muffin Tin, so it allows 12 repetitions. So these would be 12 different balls. So if the child is in what I would call the input phase, meaning he doesn't talk yet, a lot of the little ones that I'm working with are either pre-verbal or minimally verbal. So they don't have speech yet. So I will be their voice for them, and I will coach the parent to be their voice. So as the child puts it in, I'll say ball, and they do it again, ball. So we get that nice repetition, and little kids love to put in. I mean, and they want to finish it. They won't stop halfway through.
But everybody has a muffin tin. That's what I love about this.
And you know what's even better? Not everybody makes muffins every day, which means it's available. And I
It's
think
available.
that's what makes a toy a really good, high quality toy. So for the younger children who may still be putting things in their mouth, you want to use bigger items. So these are my, you can see much larger size balls that still fit very nicely, but they're going to sit on it like an ice cream cone kind of. But so you want to pick items that are going to be safe. So I love the Muffin Tin. Something else I love from the kitchen are these silicone muffin cups, if you will. You can use them over and over. They can go in the dishwasher. Look at those beautiful, brilliant colors. And so what I like to pair with them, again, I'm a little out there when it comes to toys, Coach Mel, but I love Lazy Susans, okay? And I love to put these little cups on the Lazy Susan, and maybe you're going to put toys in them. Maybe you're going to put one of these big balls, in there. You could do color matching or anything like that. But maybe you want to use it at mealtime. So we've got some mini pretzels or maybe some grapes that are quartered, whatever, maybe some kiwi slices. But so we can make our little buffet of food. So we'll have maybe 4 or 5 different options, and then we get to spin it around. And I'm telling you, there isn't a toddler or preschooler on the planet who doesn't want to play with a Lazy Susan. So you combine.
So fun. And the portions are small, so it's underwhelming, which is what we want for our hesitant eaters.
Absolutely. And the bright colors, and I just think they're inviting, and they can manipulate them. So those, and then I also really like shaped cookie cutters. And I know that recently you posted that you liked the star shape, and I thought it's just brilliant because it gives almost like a little point to actually put in the mouth if you cut a little sandwich or a piece of cheese or a kiwi or whatever it is. So this is a set of cookie cutters, actual cookie cutters, but you can see the different sizes. So for your hesitant or resistant eaters, you might start with that itty bitty star shape, which is just barely a bite size. And you can work your way up to a little bit bigger sizes. But how fun that they're also a puzzle, right? They're a toy, they connect together. So those are just a $3 set of metal cookie cutters that I'm sure I either found on Amazon or at Walmart. And then, of course, that leads to just in general cookie cutters. So this is the $5 set from that new store. Have you been to it yet? It's called Five Below, where everything is under $5. So
don't have that in Colorado.
You need to, next time you go traveling, Mel, you need to find one.
Okay.
So it's got all 26 letters of the alphabet. It's got numbers. It's got vehicles. There's a dinosaur. It's got all sorts of animals. So
That's
again,
amazing.
you can have shaped sandwiches, shaped cheese, whatever food you're cutting out. I think it's so important that kids who are hesitant eaters, that they learn to play with their food, that they first, I always talk about interacting with food in a non-threatening manner. It's what I've had to do with my son his entire life is not force it and not push it, but offer it in a repetitive way, but in a very non-threatening manner. Getting kids involved in the kitchen, stirring and pouring ingredients. My son has to throw all our trash in the garbage can, whatever's left on the plate, and intentionally, so that he has to smell it and he has to interact with it, but he doesn't have to eat it. And so those are just some things that we have learned I would say the hard way. I didn't have somebody like you in my life when my son was very young to really help me. Social media is actually pretty new. It wasn't around when my son was young, and I felt very alone and very isolated. And I felt like as an SLP, I should know how to do this. And, I didn't back then. So that's why I'm so, I guess, passionate about sharing ideas and strategies with families and providers all over the world.
That is so great. I'm just soaking all this in, and I know we are getting so many comments here.
Oh, good.
And I know everybody else is soaking it too. Did we cover all 5 categories?
Okay, so we did, but if you don't mind, can I take the liberty? I really have a 6th one that I just want to mention, and I promise I won't spend too much time on it. But anybody who follows me knows my love of books. I post daily on social media. I have a theme every day, and every Saturday is Storybook Saturday, and I have shelves and shelves of children's books to the point where I think I have a problem, but I can't stop buying them. So these are old ones, but do you remember the Cheerio books where you open them? And so for those kiddos who just don't want to touch food, a lot of the tube feeding babies that, just don't have a lot of exposure, I always tell parents, just let them put the Cheerios in the Cheerio books, just to start with. They're very cute. I have the Halloween one, which I think is very appropriate this time of year, so that, they're learning about costumes and things like that. But I also like books about food in general. This is one that is food from around the world. So it will introduce kids to food from other countries so that we don't, I don't know, I love how you talk about, we live in a chicken nugget world. And it's hard when you live in a chicken nugget world. And so we need to expose children to other options, other textures, other, smells, things like that. And so this is the book that I read to my son frequently now. And it is a Pete the Cat book.
Yes.
But it's a 3-bite rule. And our rule is you don't get to ever try anything just once, because he always says after he tries a food one time, I don't like it. And I said, you don't like it yet, but you have to take 3 bites. So he doesn't add new foods very quickly. I'm not saying that he just, we make him try 3 foods and he all of a sudden loves it. But we do that every day. He has to take 3 bites of the same food every day. And we're slowly starting to get more of, I guess I would say, an acceptance to trying new foods, which is our biggest hurdle, is just accepting it. So I just had to share some of those books.
Oh, that is so great. And we were, just to let everybody who's listening right now know that Carrie and I just had like 10 minutes before we decided to go live. And we've followed each other on social media, but never chatted, never. Yeah. But she said, well, you know what my book club is reading right now. And I said, no, what? And she goes, Raising a Healthy Eater. I have no idea. And what Carrie didn't realize is on my free toolbox tab on melaniepotock.com, we have book club questions for Raising a Healthy, Happy Eater. So if anybody ever wants to use that book in their book club, all the activities and the recipes and the questions are all right there for you to download. So I'll put that link in the comments as well.
I would appreciate that, because every week for the members of my book club, I go through a chapter and I pull out questions and what I thought were interesting points. And I've been working too hard because you've already done all that for me. So I am going to have to check that out. But I just want everyone to know, Melanie contacted me yesterday and said, hey, any chance you'd want to be on tomorrow night? She didn't know that I was using her book.
No.
And so she was totally shocked when I said, you're never going to believe this. So it's just been kind of a very interesting, I'd say 36 hours of like aha moments, like, wow, this is really cool. So I'm very excited and honored that you asked me to be here. And don't you have a new book coming out as well?
I do. I have my very first children's book, which has been a dream of mine for a long, long time. And we're just finishing up the illustrations and loading it to Kindle this weekend. So it'll be available in November, and I'll be doing a book signing at the American Speech Language Hearing Association of both Adventures in Veggieland and Raising a Healthy, Happy Eater, and then be doing a book signing of my new book, which is called You Are Not an Otter. And it takes children through a food adventure of meeting different animals and learning how they eat. And then they learn what's the one thing they can do to become an adventurous eater. And it has tips for parents as well. So I'm very excited about that. I'll have to send you one.
I can't wait. I am tickled, and I've seen some of the illustrations. Are they watercolors?
They're watercolors, yeah.
just stunning. So I'm tickled to
Thank
can't
you.
wait for that to come out. So that's
Thank
exciting.
you.